Welcome to Guadalupe Mountains National Park. This is the highest point in Texas. Welcome to Carlsbad Caverns National Park. Bye bye White Sands National Park. This hike is really merciless. Looks like I'm the only one in this dune field. I visited three national parks: Guadalupe Mountains National Park in Texas, White Sands National Park, and Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico, respectively. I flew from LaGuardia to Lubbock, Texas. I was pleasantly surprised by the renovations done to Terminal B at LaGuardia. At Lubbock, I spent some time touring the impressive campus of Texas Tech University and also picked up some supplies for my trip from Walmart. Morning, this is day 2. I'm driving towards New Mexico, towards Guadalupe Mountain National Park. Just took a rest stop at this picnic area, which has a nice little barbecue grill. There's the highway. There's also a rail line that is parallel to the highway. That's my car. Welcome to Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Look at all the mountains and all the clouds on the top of the mountain. I'm going to be climbing one of those peaks, I think tomorrow. So I got my campsite. I just paid the fee up there, and I think I got one of the last remaining campsites. The ranger at the visitor center was telling me that the campsites fill up every day, even on weekdays. So he told me to better hurry up and set up my tent before even this campsite is gone. I didn't explore all the campsites over here, so I don't know if this was the last one. But at least in this area where I saw about 10 campsites, all of them are full. I think there are 20 campsites in total. So it's not a bad site. I mean, you can see there's a view of the mountains, obviously. I don't know which of them is the Guadalupe Peak. Maybe that one. That looks the highest, but we'll find out tomorrow. Picked up this long 9-inch stakes from Walmart yesterday, just because I know this place was going to be super windy and I didn't want to take the chance of my tent flying off. So let's see if these are any good. There's hardly any shade out here. So I'm going on this trail called the Devil's Hall. Don't know what to expect on this trail, except that I know it's the shortest trail for about 4 miles. When you're out on a trail like this, which is basically treeless with little to no shade, it's important to have a wide brim hat like this. These mountains remind me of Table Mountain in South Africa, in Cape Town, except that these mountains are nowhere close to an ocean. There you go. It's another boulder field. a.m. I'm at my campsite. I don't think I slept well last night. Not because it was uncomfortable or super cold, but that's just me. I just don't sleep well at new locations, or maybe it was just the excitement of doing today's hike to the highest point of Texas. But you can see the sun is rising behind me. It's a clear day again. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I'm just amazed how quickly I can boil water on my pocket rocket stove. So I'm going to use this boiling water to make me a nice cup of hot green tea. Alright, let's do this. Guadalupe Peak trail, 8.4 miles round trip. Should take me to the top of Texas. This hike is really merciless. It just goes up and up, right outside the campground, and there's just no break in sight. There's just constant steep elevation. So you can see my heart rate is still pounding. It's been 1 minute since I took this break. Another nice little spot with some shade. Hi, how are you? Hi. A lot more trees over here than they were down below. So definitely the landscape is changing. Also, it's got super windy and it feels like the temperature has dropped down by 10 degrees. So that's where the scenery kind of changed abruptly. Hey, how are you?
Morning.
Good morning. Another nice little spot with some shade. There are about 62 national parks in the United States. Every national park is unique. It has its own story, history. A number of people petitioned the Congress or themselves brought large tracts of land to ensure that this land will be protected. In due course of time, most of that was converted into national parks, which basically is for all of us to enjoy. But it's also our duty to make sure we preserve this beauty for future generations. Talking about national parks again, I think I visited roughly half of them, so still a fair bit to cover. Out of the ones that I have visited, my favorite definitely is Glacier National Park in Montana. Now I know I haven't visited national parks in Alaska, although that might change pretty soon. Of course, Yellowstone, which is always everyone's favorite. I like that. And then to round up the top 5, the next 3 would be Zion and Arches National Park in Utah. There's something about those national parks in Utah. They're just so unique. You just don't find that scenery anywhere on earth, let alone United States. And then I'll round up the last one, which is Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. Let me know in the comments which are your top 5 national parks, or just one. If you cannot name your top 5, just name that one national park which is your favorite. Alright, almost there. Finally made it to the top of Guadalupe Peak. This is the highest point in Texas. It's amazing to be out here. Let's look at the views. After 2 hours 30 minutes and climbing almost 1000 meters or 3300 feet, we are at the highest point in Texas.
But the Carlsbad Caverns was amazing inside. We slept at a rest area the last 2 nights. Really nice.
We built a
Just
platform
10 miles away.
that floats out so we can sleep on it.
Okay.
So we can store stuff underneath too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it worked out really nice.
We got just a trifold mattress that goes on top, 2 twins kind of next to each other. Just have a cooler and one little 1-burner stove. We cooked eggs.
Nice.
Heading up to.
Yeah, we're gonna head towards Canyonlands. So we're gonna.
How far is Canyonlands from
We're
here?
gonna stop somewhere.
We'll
It's
stop near Albuquerque or
10.5-hour driving on the way.
Cool. You guys enjoy your rest of the trip.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Alright, so done. Guadalupe Peak Trail. Will I do it again? Probably not. I finished my hike and just trying to get some rest under this nice tree. There's a nice bench over here. Just trying to rest up. Not much to do here in the afternoon. It's only about 2 p.m. It's kind of hot today, so and being inside the tent is not an option because it's quite hot. So I just found this nice little tree with nice shade and there's a cool breeze. I'm also trying to catch up on some of my reading. I'm reading the Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you guys have read that book, let me know what you guys think about it. Good morning, people. It's super windy. Last night was a bit rough. We had severe thunderstorms for a large part of the night, so it was difficult to get some sleep. And the winds have been howling like anything. Even now, like almost 8 a.m. and the winds haven't died down. Surprisingly, my tent has stayed fine. It hasn't given up. So today I'm hiking the McKittrick Canyon part of the park. It's called the McKittrick Canyon section. It's about 10 miles from where I was yesterday, still within the same national park. So apparently there is a canyon over here called as the McKittrick Canyon. We'll see what all do I see today. There's supposed to be a cabin. It's called a Pratt cabin, and it comes with a rocking chair. I'm really looking forward to sit on that rocking chair to rest my tired body. I'm just still kind of recovering from yesterday's hike to the peak. Finally some shade. Pretty interesting kind of color for the tree. Just nice and smooth bark.
Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to wonder? I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
One of the reasons why I like travel, why I find it interesting, is because the ability to meet people from different walks of life all the time. Even if you're traveling just within the states, there's always a good chance that you'll meet someone who is not like you. You'll meet someone who brings a different perspective. This belongs to a slightly different culture, thinks differently. So yesterday evening, when I was at my campsite, I just happened to meet two young girls who were originally from Wisconsin, but after the pandemic hit, they decided to pack their bags and decided to Airbnb across the country. Now I know this is not a novel idea, but really good for them. In their ideas, basically, if you can work from home, and home can be anywhere nowadays. So they did not quit their jobs. They're obviously still working, but they're basically working remote. So they have been traveling through New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, staying 1 month at a time in different Airbnbs. And then they are going to head up north as it gets hot. So they are going to head up towards Wyoming, towards Montana. So really good to talk to people who do things a bit differently, and that's really what I like about travel. I think I come a fair bit. I can see the visitor center from where I started. That's in the far distance, and then the trail kind of follows between kind of the saddle that you see between these two cliffs, and then this green section down here, that's where the grotto is, which I just passed by, but I didn't actually visit it. I can see some water over there. I guess that's why it is more green than elsewhere. And then here you can see this trail meandering up slowly, and then there are some switchbacks, and this is the trail that goes to the notch, although I don't know how far the notch is. I'm just going to go another 5 minutes, and then if I don't see the notch, I'm going to head back.
I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
Wow, this is amazing. It was worth the additional 2 miles that I trekked.
Tell me that you're ready to go. Tell me that you're ready to go. I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting. And I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
I guess some human beings will never learn. This is such a beautiful looking tree, but you can see all kinds of graffiti over here.
I'll be here waiting.
I had no idea why people would do that. Alright, that's another trail done.
I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting. Tell me that you're ready to go. Tell me that you're ready to go. I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting. Too much to wonder. I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
So this is Highway 62/180 heading west towards El Paso, which is the westernmost part of Texas with the border of Mexico. And then obviously on this side is Highway 62 heading east into New Mexico towards Carlsbad. Change in plans. I was thinking of going to Roswell, New Mexico to check out the UFO museum, but when I looked at the map, I couldn't help acknowledge that White Sands National Park was only about 2 hours away from Artesia, which is where I'm staying tonight. So I decided to chuck Roswell and instead go to White Sands. White Sands National Park is famous for dune fields of gypsum powder, which essentially look like white sands, and hence it got the name White Sands National Park.
Reaction of collisions of space junk called the Kessler syndrome. And the Kessler syndrome that Kessler came up with is based on this idea that if you get enough stuff floating around in orbit around Earth, eventually this stuff is going to smash into other stuff up there, because these things are traveling at very high speeds. And when they smash into one another, they're going to potentially break into more and more pieces. And then those pieces are going to go on, and they're going to smash into other things. And so this chain reaction will begin to where there's just pieces constantly smashing into one another.
Hey guys, so I made it to White Sands National Park. It's 96 degree Fahrenheit at it's past 5 p.m. so it's super hot. So I got this information booklet from the park ranger. So this actually has some useful information. It explains the why of White Sands. So you can do a bunch of hikes over here, not long, but even the short hikes are tough because of the 95 degree heat over here. So there is a scenic drive, it's called a Dunes Drive, and there are these short pullouts from where you can do other short trails. The longest trail in this area, I believe, is about 5 miles, or is that a different map? Oh, here, yeah. So it's 5 miles, which is the Alkali Flat Trail. So definitely not doable in this heat. Let's see if I can climb up this dune. It's probably like 30 or 40 feet. Let's see. I think the best way is to walk bare feet on this sand. Sand is nice and cool, definitely much cooler than the air. Oh, it's nice. Oh, it feels so nice. The sand is so much cooler.
Over the hills and far from mine, she's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side. La 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 la.
Looks like I'm the only one in this dune field.
She's waiting for love to be realized.
Hey guys, good morning once again. Today is the final day of my fantastic trip to New Mexico and Texas. I am today going to visit Carlsbad Caverns National Park, which is the final national park that I'm going to visit on this trip. Carlsbad Caverns National Park is famous for a big limestone chamber. It's essentially a cave with really fantastic stalactites and stalagmites. So all the geology buffs, I think this is something that you would really want to check out. I slept in the town of Artesia, New Mexico last night after coming back from White Sands. It was really nice to finally be able to sleep on a proper bed and also have a shower, something that was missing from my routine for the last 3 days. Last night when I was heading back to Artesia from White Sands, I was driving on an extremely isolated section of US Highway 82. I pulled up my car at the side of the road, turned off my headlights, and just looked up at the sky in sheer astonishment. The number of stars that I could see in the sky was just unbelievable. This makes you feel so insignificant and tiny. You're just a tiny being on an insignificant planet going around an average star in not so special section of our Milky Way galaxy, which itself is among hundreds of billions of galaxies, each having trillions of stars, if not more. And I mean, sometimes it makes you wonder, is there some life out there? In spite of all the technological advances we know, instead of all the search for extraterrestrial life, it's still, the Earth is the only planet we know of that harbors any form of life. Isn't it amazing? So I'm at the visitor center. I just purchased the park admission ticket, and I'm going to visit the main limestone chamber. For the record, the temperature outside is 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and the caves are at a year-round temperature of 56 degrees Fahrenheit. Talk about nature's thermostat there. It's getting cooler and cooler, darker and darker as you would descend downwards. You can also see some bats. Hey guys, so the reason I am so breathless is because, of course, the view inside the cave was extremely breathtaking. Sorry, that's not the reason. The reason I'm so breathless is because I just climbed up 75 stories or 750 feet to get get out of the cave, and obviously I'm so tired. Not sure why I did that, because obviously there are elevators down there to come up, but it is what it is. The cave was much bigger, way more massive than I thought. As after you go down all the way, there is something called the big room. The big room has a vast array of all kinds of rock formations. You have your stalactites, stalagmites, cave column, different shapes, sizes. It's pretty mind-boggling the size of this cave. The walk around the entire big room itself is 2 miles. So all in all, this was a fantastic way to spend a day. I absolutely recommend coming to Carlsbad Caverns National Park. It's not very far from the Texas border, so if you're ever in the western part of Texas or southeastern part of New Mexico, that's definitely a place to check out. Hey guys, so I'm at the Lubbock Airport, Texas, waiting to board my flight back home to New Jersey. Sadly, the trip now has to come to an end, but it's been a great trip. I absolutely loved visiting this part of Texas and New Mexico. It was awesome to hit 3 national parks in the space of just 5 or 6 days. I hope you guys like my video. If you do like my video, definitely do give a thumbs up, put in a comment, and definitely consider subscribing.
You ever been up in the cockpit before?
Never.
No.
Have you?
Yeah, lots of times.